Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. 26,703 of you. Taking a little page out of the Russell Brand playbook where he counts off how many subscribers he has. It's been awesome, man. I've had a great week. Hopefully, you guys have had a great week. Been super busy, but it's great to see you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. Man, so much to talk about that really honestly just kind of flooded on me today. And I was like, man, I need to say hi to the legends hanging out on the channel. So I figured that's what we do today and say what's going on. So if you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button so we can grow to 26,704. So that'd be great. And also thumbs up are greatly appreciated whether you're watching the premiere or whether you're watching after the fact, which most of you do. Also, a lot of you guys enjoyed the reaction to the video power episode. I'm going to do another one to Nick Arcade. That was one that you guys suggested a lot. I'm familiar with Nick Arcade, but I haven't watched it in a long time. So I'll probably be putting that up on Monday or so. I'm going to record it directly after this because I have a little bit of time, and then I'll put it up, and it'll go live Monday afternoon. So make sure you guys are ready for that. Should be fun. Nick Arcade, 1992. Let's go. Okay, so I wanted to kind of talk about, I'm sorry, before we get into Jim Brewer and how people change and perceptions and stuff, I want to let you know, last year we did a trip to Vegas as a community. It was awesome. This year we're going to lock it down this year. We're going to do one in July, late July it's looking like. I don't have dates yet, but the wonderful Travis Keys has been working with me. Mainly Travis has been doing it. And so thank you, Travis, for getting that locked in. So if you want to go to Vegas, hang out with a bunch of great people who just enjoy great company, man, look, it's not like a paid event. It's just you just go, we hang out, we get food, we just be a family. That's really what it is. Friends and family get together. It'll be in late July. I got a live stream coming up. The first one in like 3 or 4 months. Saturday, March 5th at 9 p.m. Now I'm putting it on the schedule right now. Got it? Okay, cool. Now we got all that stuff out of the way. Once again, the thumbs up, the subscribing, the live stream. It'll be on Twitch and on YouTube. Saturday, March 5th, 9 p.m. No video games, just us hanging out and the one-on-one interaction because I love it. I miss you guys. Okay, so I was while I was getting ready today, I had a subscription or something that was suggested to me on YouTube, because the algorithm, and it was Jim Brewer. And this is the second piece of Jim Brewer content that I've consumed this week. Odd. But the first was on Amazon Prime. And for those of you guys who don't know who Jim Brewer is and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't. Jim Brewer was a comedian that rose to fame in the 90s and early 2000s of Saturday Night Live. He kind of, I would say most people, he peaked in Hollywood in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. He's kind of has this stigma as this crazy stoner guy who he played on Saturday Night Live. I think he played a character called Goat Boy, which I got to be honest, I totally forgot about. But what I was familiar with him mostly was from a movie called Half Baked. Half Baked, I love. I've never smoked weed before. I've never done any sort of drugs before. But Half Baked is a hilarious movie. I love Half Baked. It's a movie. It's all about pretty much these four friends. One of them gets in trouble on accident. He ends up killing a police horse and gets sent to jail. And then the other three friends have to raise money to get him out of jail. And they do that by essentially selling weed that Dave Chappelle's character, Thurgood, steals from the place that he works at, this medical place that he works at. Anyways, it's funny. It's so ridiculous. It's phenomenal, like early to mid 2000s ridiculousness. Dave Chappelle's hilarious. And Jim Brewer is too. He's kind of this wacky, crazy-haired, super stoner guy, and that's always kind of been his perception, is this like crazy, whoa, way, I'm some stone man type of perception. But I guess he's been a little more vocal in the past, couple of years, because the last couple of years has really, really changed a lot of people, right? And I guess this started for Jim probably about 10 years ago. He said, I was listening to this podcast. He mentioned that he left Hollywood to go focus on family. He left just to get out of it and focus on his parents and his wife. And that's something that's really admirable to me. I think that people who focus on family, I say this to my kids all the time, family is the most important thing. It's the most important thing in life. More than money, more than where you live. As long as you have family, you're good, right? And family is something that is an evolving process. You have your immediate family, you have your online family, you have your friends that can be a part of your family. But for Jim Brewer, he was specifically talking about his immediate family. And you don't. I guess he plays shows and stuff. Like I said, I don't know Jim Brewer. It was essentially him talking for about 50 minutes on his own podcast. And this is a guy who talks for a living. This is what he does. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's still playing shows. But he's not on the same level of, any of the, really, like, obviously Dave Chappelle or anything like that. I don't know if I was to put him on a B tier or a C tier. I don't know. He's just not on the selling out stadiums tier. He's probably selling out nightclubs tier as he tours and stuff. But he strikes me as a guy who does it for the love of the game and a guy who does it for a cause. And that cause is to spread laughter and love. When you hear him speak for 45, 50 minutes, just raw and uncut about his experience that he had, it really was pretty... Not emotionally jarring, but it was something that I could relate to, And I think a lot of people have gone through what Jim and me and like I said, a lot of people have gone through over the last 2 years. There's been this shift in society to where people are so dug in that they've surrounded themselves with hate. And I've always felt that, like, I may not agree with the way you think or the way you want to live your life. And that's fine. We don't have to agree on everything. And I know I've talked about this many times, but Jim's story was that he was promoting something, and something got pushed to him on Facebook, and he watched a comedian pretty much do this holier than thou opening to his show, where it's like, isn't it great that we're all together, and isn't this great that we're all responsible and we're all jabbed, and we're all taking our boosters, and we're all masked, and unlike, and then he goes, unlike Jim Brewer, and I guess Jim Brewer is unvaccinated. I don't know. It's not my business. I don't care. But this comedian then was like, and pretty much said, and they're all going to die. Speaking of Jim Brewer and these other two people he talked about. I think he talked about Travis Tritt and somebody else. But And that really resonated with Jim, right? And he was talked about how he didn't really understand where, he doesn't know this comedian. I think David Cross, and I want to triple check. I want to make sure I know who David Cross is, because I'm pretty sure I have an idea of who. Yes, okay, David Cross. Yes, yeah, okay. Yeah, David Cross is the stand-up comedian who's familiar with, like, Mr. Show and Arrested Development and so shows like that. So David Cross goes in and he bags on Jim Brewer. And my perception of Jim Brewer has always been, I've seen, like I said, him as a stoner goat boy a long time ago. And I think I saw, like, a viral video of him probably a couple months ago talking about, like, the circus, and he was just talking about the overall landscape of media and, changing the direction of things that you look at, and if you were to listen to the media, they'd be like, oh man, this guy's a crazy whack job. He doesn't even understand, he doesn't know what he's saying. This guy is not sensible. But when you sit in and you actually listen to this guy and talk to him, or listen to him and listen to him talk for about 45, 50 minutes, this guy is just, he cares about family. He wants to spread love, and he wants to spread laughter. And he doesn't understand the divisiveness that so many people have felt over the last couple of years. And I think that's probably one of the biggest tragedies of this last couple of years. Is, yes, there have been people who have died from COVID, a lot of people who have died from suicide and drug overdose, and number of obviously countless number of people dipping into depression. Number of children who are going to grow up behind the curve with developmental issues because of some of the things that have been put in place. And that all is just incredibly horrible. But also, there's been a number of people who have just filled their heart with hate. And look, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Jim Brewer is not perfect. We all have our flaws, right? But at the same time, I think I've been very consistent with the message of love. I've made stupid statements in the past, but at the same time, I've always just wanted people to live their best life, right? And going back to Jim, he hears this guy talking about how Jim Brewer is going to die, or he's going to die because he doesn't think a certain way, and that's really alarming. And Jim tells the story that he actually had an opportunity to talk to this guy about it. He actually spoke to him face to face, and when confronted him about it, and it wasn't like a "Hey, what's up?" It was he just sat down, talked to the guy. And it's, he said he had several witnesses who can retell the story, but he talked to the guy really sensibly. He's like, "Look, you don't know me. Why would you say these things?" And the guy cowered, and he tucked his tail, and he was a total coward about it. And he said, "Oh, I'm never going to do it." Then guess what? He did it again because he had multiple instances of it talking about Jim Brewer, right, in the past. And this most recent one about him dying was kind of the one that kind of set him off, but put him to the point of wanting to talk about this. But it was a really interesting podcast, and I found it really relatable because I've had, as I've had my head down over the last 6-7 months, getting work done for what I'm doing now. Which, by the way, I'll be able to tell you guys really shortly, probably April, what's been going on. I'm really excited about it, but. With all that said, I've been watching, from a distance, the gaming space, like very far. I mean, like 50,000 feet away. But I've reached out to friends. I've reached out to people I thought were friends, and it's been interesting to see who truly is your friends and who truly aren't your friends. Who will respond to texts when you say, "Hey, just checking in. Just wanted to see how you're doing." And who doesn't respond, who responds and who doesn't, and who needs a little bit of goading to be pulled out, who needs a second text to say, "Hey, just following up, just want to see," and who responds, within the day or so. I mean, look, everybody has their phone with them, right? The idea of, "Oh, I missed your text." Okay, sure. But I think ultimately, with that podcast, I encourage everybody to go listen to it. I'll try to put a link in the description below. But it was really enlightening to me, and the transformation of what my perception of what Jim Brewer was to what he actually is. It was not jarring, but it made me feel good. It made me feel good to know that he was this. This crazy smoker weed guy, all about weed. Especially, what is what you see in the movies, right? And these are characters, and but at the same time, that's always been his look, his feel, the perceived perception of him. But when you actually sit down and talk to people, he's like a really sensible person. And I talk to somebody, so I think that's really cool. And Jim Brewer earned me as a subscriber just based off him being himself. And I think that's probably one of the most important things with that. So I know this is about, this 13 minutes of me talking about this, and what you're getting on this channel is me. So, and it just my stream of consciousness as I go every, once or twice a week. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I want to just echo Jim's message of, I hope that you guys spread love and happiness, and that the hate that people have in their heart doesn't deter you from that. At the end of the day, I want you to live your best life. I hope that you spread that message as well, and that's really the most important thing. If this can lift you up at all, that's great. I think that's really, really exciting. Quick reminder, once again, Vegas, we're going to have a get together at the end of July. Stream coming up March 5th at 9 p.m. on Twitch and on YouTube. That's twitch.tv/stutteringcraig and youtube.com/stutteringcraig. The Nick Arcade reaction will be going up on Monday. I'm going to pretty much film it right after this and just put it in the can, as they say, because I got a little bit of time. And once again, I'll be announcing what I'm doing here pretty soon. I appreciate you guys tuning in, being a part of my life. Remember, if you guys got a goal, go get it. All right? You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.